I represent the good people of Idemili North and South Federal Constituency, and that is in Anambra State. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise today under 8, Rule 5, to move a motion on public urgent importance on the need to investigate the Heritage Bank crisis and to protect depositors' interest. Mr. Speaker, I also seek that our House rules are suspended in order for me to take this motion. I so move.
Distinguished colleagues, I remain Honorable Dixon Taki OON. I represent Makurdi Goma Federal Constituency from Benue State. Rise this morning to second the motion as heavily moved by my colleague from Anambra State. I so second. Thank you.
Notes that on June 3rd, 2024, the Central Bank of Nigeria publicly declared the revocation of Heritage Bank's license, citing its violation of Section 12(1) of the Banks and Other Financial Institutions Act 2020. Consequently, the CBN designated the Nigerian Deposit-Insurance Corporation as the entity responsible for overseeing the liquidation process. Further notes that the Nigerian Deposit-Insurance Corporation has initiated the liquidation process of Heritage Bank PLC in accordance with Section 55, subsection 1 and 2 of the NDIC Act 2023. The corporation has swiftly commenced the liquidation procedures of the failed bank, prioritizing immediate verification and disbursement of insured deposits of the depositors. Aware that NDIC has initiated the liquidation process, which regrettably limits the verification and payment of depositors to a maximum insured amount of only 5 million naira. Further aware that NDIC, in its statement dated June 3rd, 2024, has specified that depositors with funds surpassing 5 million naira will receive liquidation dividends only after the realization of the bank's assets and retrievals of debts owed to the bank. Also aware that some depositors allegedly entrusted significant sums amounting in billions of naira to Heritage Bank, representing their hard-earned savings and financial security. This realization underscores the magnitude of the financial losses and uncertainties they are now facing, highlighting the profound impact of the bank's failure on the lives and well-being of people. Concern that amidst the prevailing economic challenges in Nigeria, the financial stability of its citizens has been significantly compromised. Limiting compensation to 5 million naira only is deeply inadequate to alleviate the substantial losses experienced by depositors who have placed their trust in Heritage Bank, exacerbating their financial distress and uncertainty. Also deeply concerned about CBN's failure to promptly disclose the financial instability of Heritage Bank, which has left depositors vulnerable to unexpected financial losses. This lack of transparency has not only eroded public trust in the banking system and regulatory bodies, but has also intensified the distress and uncertainty faced by depositors who relied on the bank for their financial security. Further deeply concerned by allegations suggesting that CBN had prior knowledge of the bank's deficiencies for an extended period but failed to enact timely corrective measures. This underscores the pressing need for a thorough review of the regulatory oversight mechanisms, and it is unjust for depositors to suffer the consequences of regulatory inaction. Such a review is essential to restoring confidence in the regulatory framework and ensuring the protection of depositors' interests. The House resolves to urge the Nigerian Deposit-Insurance Corporation, NDIC, to conduct a comprehensive review of its operations and the effectiveness of its mandate to ensure that it is adequately equipped and resourced to fulfill its role as depositors, insurer, and investor of failed banks. The House urges that the Central Bank of Nigeria conduct a thorough investigation of the leadership and management of Heritage Bank to to identify any possible issues of mismanagement or wrongdoing that may have contributed to the bank's failure. The House urges that the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation and other pertinent authorities to carefully reassess the current compensation scheme with a view to offering more meaningful relief to depositors who have experienced financial losses. The House further urges that the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation, on limitations of the current deposit insurance coverage, the Federal House of Representatives should consider regulatory amendments to increase the maximum insured amount to better protect depositors' interests. This adjustment would provide greater financial security for depositors. The House further mandates the Committee on Banking Regulations and Insurance and Actuarial Matters and other relevant bodies to set up an investigation into the circumstances surrounding Heritage Bank and to report to the House within 2 weeks. Mr. Speaker, dear colleagues, I so move.
My name is Regina Kume, representing the good people of Bokotaka constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Benue State. I stand here to second the motion moved by my deputy. And I said, I so second.
Again, she said nay. There is have it. This motion is referred to the Committee on Banking Regulations for further legislative action.